Hey everybody, welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry. We are just gonna load back up. I was actually planning on playing something else today, but I'm so now invested in what's going to happen next, now that we know that somebody has died, that we're just gonna continue where we left off. So in our last episode, we were struck by Orishiro-sama's curse. So Tamatake-san, the photographer, was killed. He ripped out his own throat with his fingernails, and the woman he was with is missing. Other than that, we don't know a whole lot else about the case. So let's just continue and see if maybe we discover anything new. I'm also going to be drinking a lot of water this episode because my throat is raw AF. It's the winter season. I always get like this. So I apologize. Sleepy. That's us. We're sleeping. Really big yawn. What a big mouth you have, Keiichi. Usually wake once it's time to eat, but doesn't look like I can do it today. Same. I've been there before. Same. Love those raunchy TV shows. Bio. Pornography. Porn. It was before the advent of internet porn, so when porn was on TV, you know you were watching it. Rika not patting my head only made me feel worse. Let me pass out. Satoko. Let the man sleep. Yeah, this winter season is kicking my ass. It's like, I don't think it's like dry. It's just whenever it drops below like 50 degrees, I just get all kinds of scratchy. This is just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head under the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. It seemed that Sadako had responded, but I pretended not to hear. So cute, my sleeping face. I can take him home later. Let him be for now. Rika-chan really is a good girl. I take that back. She said I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Uishi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. Spending the day like this. It's almost as if the incident with Tomitake-san didn't happen at all. Made me think. Was Uishi-san just trying to deceive me? Yeah, you'd think in a small town like this that news would have spread pretty quickly. It was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened in the first place. Ended up with me again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I never learned about it, I would without a doubt be goofing off with the rest of them right now. Couldn't help but resent Uishi-san for this. Did they know? Mion kept whispered to keep the others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up. I could still tell that she was quite upset. Couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomitake-san? I'd have to feign ignorance about this topic because I need to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it was much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep, listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. There are others right too. I don't know if this was from a curse or from an Onikakushi. That's the name of this chapter, but what does that mean? Onikakushi. Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good.
何せよ、もう一人いるんだよね。だよね。お社様ならね。
If it was Oshiro-sama's curse, they're saying that, like I was saying earlier, one person dies and another person disappears. So Onikakushi means to be spirited away by a demon. So is that like the person that disappeared was spirited away?
今年は出ないよ。バッチャと村長さんが話してたんだけどさ、今年は事前に警察と話がつけてあるらしいんだよ。何が起こっても騒ぎにしないで穏便に片付けるって。じゃあレナたちが知らないだけでどこかで誰かがかもしれない。
I wish we got the full conversation of what Rena was saying. We're kind of like guessing.
次はレナかな。
I wonder. Oh, because Rena's an outsider too. She's only been living here for like a year before we got here.
安心しなよ。
So in addition to Keiichi's family, maybe Rena and her family would be in trouble too. Got home safely.
でも、ダメだったんでしょ？昔の話だよ。もうやめよう、この話。
Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term Onikakushi, to be demoned away, but by the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. I expected that's what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman, really bugged me that I don't know her name, Mio Takano, vanished after the Watanagashi. Next thing that stuck out was when Rena said there's another one, right? Mion also said if it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah, responding to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be two victims. Is that what she meant? When I think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was a case of Onikakushi. Seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things. And they were phenomena that were paired together. I recalled Tomitake-san's terrible end, so that would be Oshiro-sama's curse. When something as elegant as disappearing. Rena's end would be best described as cursed. And the woman with him, it means she vanished because she was demoned away? What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper. And the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason, I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Yoshiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, Yoshiro-sama should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Oshishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village. But recently there was no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Oishi-san, informing the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. It made me feel terrible. Raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of these events. And then we have the upbeat, cheering music. The teacher approaches! In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signaling the start of afternoon classes. Couldn't sleep at all. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. There was a thumbtack stuck in the back of my... That is brutal! Circumstantial evidence was enough. You stabbed me in the back with a pin? The needle? Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. I fiercely jumped up from my seat. And I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Sadako. Evil. Clump, clump, wish biff. We just forehead flicker again? Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Crybaby Sadako.
ほら、前原くん、下級生をいじめてはいけません。
She put a thumbtack on my chair. I saw Sadako stick out her tongue at me. That little brat.
ほら、前原くん。
へいへい、謝りますよ。さとこさん、ごめんなさい。
In any case, I apologize, even if it was a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. You're gonna get it,
ゲイちゃ
Sadako.
ん、ゲイちゃん、その恨みは部活でね。着席着席。
I sat down after Mion told me to. She switched to class representative mode. And then I get in trouble. I'm being victimized. And I get in trouble. Boring class is finished. School was finally over for the day. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play the deduction game one more time. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Oishi-san. Rena and I weren't even able to test out our strategy.
そうだね。今日こそケイチくんと二人で大勝利だよね。でもどうでしょうね。
What should we
同じ
do?
ゲームを続けて2日やった試しはありませんし。ニーにお願いしてみたらどうでしょうです。
What do you think, Mion? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up.
いっけね。今日おじさんの手伝いの日だ。悪いみんな。
Oh,
今日なし。
おじさんの手伝い
your uncle.
柄にもなく高校なやつだな。
悪い悪い。ほんとすっかり忘れてた。じゃあごめんねみんな。
That's suspicious.
今日はおじさんこれで帰るわ。
Okay, bye. Mion left us with that and rushed off to exit after snatching up her bag. That's
みー
weird.
ちゃんね、たまに街にあるおじさんのお店の手伝いに行くんだよ。
I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff. She was the one that told us to have the club meeting today. And that she gets paid
結構
for it.
なお小遣い
For
に
her
なるら
spending
しいで
money.
すの。
I see. Able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there.
しかしそれはアルバイトと言うんじゃないのか？校則で禁止されてないか？
家事手伝いは除くと書いてありますです。
That what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today?
じゃあ今日はこれで解散かな。
別に部長不在でもいいだろう。やろうぜ、部活。
I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games.
お、あったあった。昨日の推理ゲーム。ようやくコツが分かってきたところで中断しちゃったからな。
At the very least, I wanted to repay Sadako for what she did during the afternoon break.
私は構いませんけど、レナさんとリカはどういたします？ケイチくんがどうしてもって言うなら、ちょっとだけいいかな。僕はみんなが揃っての方がいいなと思いますです。
When she says it like that,
部活がないなら僕はお買い物に行きたかったのです。お醤油とかを買いに行きますですよ。
okay, well then I guess no
そう
club
でし
meeting.
たわね。すっかり忘れてましたわ。ならレナも久しぶりに宝探しに行こうかな。
What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. I kept on trying to push them at her, may make them realize I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah well, I'll give up this time.
このゲーム楽しみにしていたのにな。
Shuffled through the cards as I was still caught up on it.
またの機会に叩きのめして差し上げましたよ。
犯人はサトコ。凶器はピストル。やはり貴様の仕業だったか。
なんですって？じゃあ
Satoko looked at the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me.
犯人はケイチ。凶器はロープで、犯行現場はラウンジですわ。
ロープなんかいらねえ。
I don't need no
この
rope
まま締め
to
殺してや
strangle you like this. Ugh.
いやー、ケイチさんの毛玉な
Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got out of my system.
ケイチさん覚えてらっしゃい
Crybaby Sadako.
いっぱいいっぱいいたぶられましたですねかわいそかわい
She
そ
was
で
just
す
a plaything for quite a while. What?
かいかい
That's a weird way to say it. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped up gather the scattered cards. Suddenly paused. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi? Satoshi? Oh, the cards were made by us. At least every card beside this one had the name of a club member. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? Couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall.
ケイチくん早く片付けよ
Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for the lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave.
レナ、やっぱりこのクラスからも転校で出て行っちゃった生徒って結構いるんだろ
Tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered.
うんHinamizawaって田舎でしょ転校していっちゃう人も時々いるよ
じゃあこのサトシってやつも転校してったのか
ごめんよく知らないの
There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate.
その意地悪で言ってるんじゃないのちょうど去年レナが転校してきてから入れ替わりだったかな、だからあんまりお話ししたことないのごめんね
Suspicious. Remember, tell me the truth, girl. I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone's worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then. These mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance.
ケイチくん
Making a
怖い
scary
顔
face.
してるなんでだろうなんでだろう
Because you're not telling me the truth, honey. It's probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her.
あ、ごめん今日の部活楽しみにしてたからさ残念だっただけだよ
I rustled Rena's hair.
帰ろうぜ
Dragging the awkward mood with us, we headed home. Y'all need to stop lying to me and start telling me the damn truth. Like that police officer, who is she? Who was just like, this guy was brutally murdered. He ripped out his damn throat with his fingernails. Blood and muck everywhere. You're old enough to know this. I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. Nothing to worry about, I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry.
ケイチくん疲れてるのかな
Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling.
そうか
うん今朝からケイチくんなんだか元気ないよ風邪かな
Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. May not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on since I didn't give her an answer.
きっとケイチくん引っ越しの疲れが今になってきたんだよ前に住んでたところとは全然違うところだもんいろいろ慣れたり覚えたり疲れて当然だよ
Or it could be because Tomitake was brutally freaking murdered. That could be.
絶対にそうだよレナも最初そうだったからわかるんだよ
I wondered if Rena also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking, so I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt.
レナがひなみ沢に転校してきた時の話が聞きたいな。どんなだった？
Feeling I'd been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened.
ケイチ君と同じだよ。人の名前も村の中も全然わかんなかった。みーちゃんとかが親切にしてくれたから全然寂しくなかったけど、やっぱり心細かったよ。
Rena told me all the details of when she moved here, all of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times.
じゃあレナもサトコにやられたのかよ。
うん。椅子に座ろうとしたら画鋲が置いてあったの。
That's just brutal.
どっさり。
Poke.
そ
That
したら
hurts.
それを
Get
懐か
tetanus.
しいな。
ミオンの部活にはいつ頃誘われたんだ？早速初日にか？
最初は部活なんてなかったんだよ。途中からできたの。放課後にみんなで残ってゲーム大会をやろうって言い出して。
Wait a minute, Rena. Wait a minute. That Satoshi card that we found. You've only been here for a year and you don't know Satoshi. But Satoshi is in the game you said you played halfway through the school year that you were part of.
そういえばミオン初代部長とか言ってたっけな。
Make up your mind. Who is Satoshi? He played games with you. He's in the game.
内緒だけどね、みーちゃん最初は弱かったんだよ。
Ooh. Y'all need to start telling me the truth.
ミオンが？ちょっと想像つかないぞ。
Hmm.
自分で言い出した罰ゲーム、ほとんど自分でやってたんだよ。本当に内緒だからね。
Can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty.
みーちゃん以外ともちょっとずつお友達になれて、でも、ケイチ君が引っ越してきてからかな。ようやくここに馴染めたって自覚したのは。
Guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she just moved here. Guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them.
俺はいつになったら仲間だと認めてもらえるんだろうな。
なんて言ったの？
あ、いや、ごめん。独り言。
ケイチ君変なの。
Rena was poking fun and laughing at me, and I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then after making up my mind, I spoke.
なあ、レナ。みんなは俺に嘘や隠し事なんかしてないよな。
We're gonna just be blunt.
してないよ、全然。
Do not lie to me, girl. You're lying. You're a liar. Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense.
どういう意味だろう、ケイチ君。
Her tone was still the same cheery and lighthearted one as
知
before.
ってるよな。俺に隠し事を。
Just tell me. After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash. But she came back at me in a way I didn't expect.
じゃあさ、ケイチ君。ケイチ君こそ、レナたちに嘘や隠し事をしてないかな。
I was not expecting this. You are close to me. Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena.
してないかな。嘘や隠し事してないかな。
You are. Secrets. Yeah, she say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitake-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it. There were things I knew that I felt guilty about. I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitake-san, to be considerate. I was keeping a secret just the way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then, aren't we even?
知ってないよ。嘘も隠し事も。
嘘だよ。
Well, now I'm a liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. That's
どうして
unsettling.
嘘だって。
圭一君、昨日の部活の時、先生に呼ばれて職員室に行ってたって言ったよね。レナは知ってるよ。圭一君は職員室になんか行かなかった。
Swallowed hard. Really wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened.
先生はお客さんが来たって言ったんだよね。でも昇降口ではお話ししてなかった。校門のところの車の中で話を知らないおじさんと。
You watching me? Rena knew everything. She knew that I was called out by Oishi-san and that I'd heard about the incident with Tamatake-san as well. Did she know all of it?
誰？あのおじさん。
知らない人だよ。
知らない人がなんで圭一君に用があるの？
俺が知りたいよ。
じゃあ何の話をしていたの？
みんなとは関係のない話だよ。
It was a lie.
嘘だ
！Back up, Rena Ryugu. You are in my face. Get back. Rena's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. Couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. This is unsettling. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here. I first realized. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then, who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I held my breath for so long I could feel myself suffocating.
ね？
And she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile, it chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. A coward as I imagined that. And she smirked as if she was able to see right through me.
圭一君に内緒や隠し事があるように、レナたちにだってあるんだよ。
Rena's usual smile, but her eyes were still like that of a hawk's. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. Couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to my core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. For it felt like an eternity after a long empty silence, she finally spoke.
行こう。だいぶ涼しくなってきたよ。
That was weird. It was Rena again. I got like chills. Smiling at once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me, and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight.
あれは誰だったんだよ。
I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person? Who looked like Rena Ryugu? Whew. That was crazy. It's weird, I've watched the anime series of this. It's been a long time since, so I'm trying to fill in the gaps and things, but I didn't expect to have, the reactions I'm having with this game. That was chilling. I was out of it and couldn't bring myself to do anything until dinner, except stare blankly into space. Was I terrified from Rena going off on me? No, that's not right. That was someone else who only looked like Rena. Then, who could it have been? It was a dreadful feeling. Knowing that was someone else, not Rena. So tomorrow I shouldn't have a problem talking to Rena like I usually do. That was strangely comforting. I concluded that I should just calm down and clear my head. Though, those thoughts continued swirling around my mind. Finally, I returned to my senses as I heard my mother calling out to me from the bottom of the stairs. The bookstore? From Mion? I think why they'd be calling me. Mion works at the bookstore, isn't that what she said before? Went downstairs and picked up the receiver anyway.
夜分遅くに申し訳ありません。
Oh, so Oishi.
私、沖宮書房の大石と申します。
Got it. We're being secretive.
大石さん大石さんじゃないですか。
ごめんなさいね。ご両親が出られたので、本屋さんということにしておきました。警察ですって名乗ると、いろいろ気分を害されるでしょうし、ね。
I get it. You shouldn't lie to my parents, because I'm a minor, but I get it. Oishi-san was, in his own way, rather courteous. Even so, I didn't want my parents hearing me talk to the police. I brought the cordless phone with me as I dashed back up to my room on the second floor.
夜分遅くにすみませんですね。実は昨日渡した電話番号のメモ、本当に申し訳ない。これから申し上げる番号を控えておいてもらえますか。
あ、はい。どうぞ。
He gave me the number from his direct line as I wrote it down. I thought that was the end of it, but he began making pointless small talk, and it was pretty hard to hang up.
さて、どうでしょう、前原さん。何か変わったことはありましたか。
I see. This was the real reason. He beat around the bush to get there. His adult conversational skills left me slack-jawed.
大石さんはここの地元の方ですか。
ええ、そうです。生まれも育ちも沖宮ですよ。
He's from around here. He might know.
大石さん、鬼隠しって何のことか知ってますか。
それはですね、人が鬼にさらわれ忽然といなくなってしまうことなんです。この辺り独特の言い回しですね。世間様で言う神隠しと同じ意味です。
Whereas my friends would say they didn't know when I asked, this older man gave me a direct answer. Made me a bit happy that he answered me directly without trying to hide anything.
Hinamizawaは、前原さんにこんなこと言っていいんでしょうか。
You already told me everything else.
もったいぶらないでくださいよ。
Just tell me.
大石さんが言わないなら
Thank you.
俺も何も言いませんよ。
ああ、いやいや、そういう意味じゃないんですよ。ただその気を悪くされないかと思いましてね。実はですね、hinamizawaはその昔、
There's a village where demons
鬼の住む里
reside.
って呼ばれて恐れられていたんですよ。
鬼？鬼って地獄にいる金棒を持った
というよりは人食い鬼ですな。
Like human-eating monsters.
里に降りてきて人をさらって食い散らかしてしまう。なんて怖い昔話があるんですよ。
たたりと鬼隠しは一緒に起こるって言ってましたけど、
Yeah, every year somebody dies and somebody else
どう
disappears.
いうことですか？
I already knew about the mysterious deaths happening 5 years in a row, but I didn't know there were people disappearing for those same 5 years.
たたり
Yeah,
と
we
鬼
did.
隠しが必ず一緒に。それは初めて聞きました。そうなんですか、前原さん。
それは俺が聞きたいですよ。レナとミオンが話してたんです。お社様のたたりなら必ずたたりと鬼隠しが起こるって。
Oishi-san began hemming and hawing on the other end of the receiver. Maybe something about that came to mind?
前原さん、最初の事件ご存知ですよね。バラバラ
ええ。
Right?
6人の犯人のうち1人はまだ逃走中なんですよね。
例えばそれ、逃走中じゃなく、鬼隠しにあったんじゃないでしょうか。
Oh, hey, that could be. Huh? An outrageous hypothesis from Oishi-san. The incident 4 years ago was a particularly ghastly one. Police already knew the perpetrators, so they posted tons of wanted posters with his face on them. They staked out various locations, investigated every possible escape route he had, but after 4 years there wasn't even a hint of where he might be. Unless the police were completely incompetent. Even if it was an outrageous hypothesis, I couldn't simply laugh it off.
じゃあその翌年の事故はどうです？誘致派の男と妻が一緒に事故死したんですよね。
実はですね、正式には事故死したのは夫
The wife was never
妻
found.
死体が上がりません
Right.
でしたから。
We never got her body. And that woman that committed suicide at the bottom of that bog, we never found her either.
されない限り行方不明扱い。
Time of the incident, when the river below the cliff being Muddy Rapids, police divers had searched every branch of the main stream of the river for dozens of miles, but in the end, they weren't able to find their body.
でも 死体が見つからないだけで亡くなったんですよね。鬼隠しとは違うんじゃないですか？
We don't know because she's gone.
死体が出ない以上亡くなったとは言えません。法律で定めた年月が過ぎるまで生存扱いなんです。
I'm not sure if it was right to call that being demoned away. The wife is missing. At least that part was reality.
3年目はどうなんですか？神主は病死、妻は自殺ですよ。
前原さん、実はね、これも全
Right,
く同じ
never
なん
found
で
the
す
body.
よ。
Wife had supposedly thrown herself into the bottomless marsh deep into the forest around Hinamizawa, meaning it's all circumstantial evidence. They simply found her suicide note in front of the marsh. Diver was able to recover a few of her articles, but they weren't able to find a body. Investigative headquarters believed that she had faked her death and was still alive somewhere.
これらを鬼隠しと呼んでいいかちょっとわかりません。
What about the housewife being beaten to
前
death?
原さんの言う通り、確かに毎年一人行方不明になっています。
今年の事件では富武さんの連れの女の人が行方不明。
Right.
じゃあ去年の主婦の撲
And
殺
so
事
with
件
the
はどう
housewife,
です
yeah.
誰か行方不明になりましたか？確か犯人は逮捕されたんですよね。
ええ、逮捕されてます。以前に逮捕歴もあるやつでしてね、別件で取り調べ中に犯行を自供してます。ですがですね、犯人逮捕からしばらくして被害者宅の子供が行方不明になったんです。犯罪に巻き込まれたのかどうなのか、現在も捜査してます。
だって犯人は捕まったんですよね。それともその仲間が？
さあ、多分単独犯だと思います。もっとも今では確かめようもないんですよ。実はその男、取り調べ中に拘置所内でお亡くなりになっちゃいまして。
Swallowed a spork and choked to death. Oh, Jesus. I remember there was an accident or a
つま
suicide.
り過去5年間必ず死者と行方不明者が。
そうなります。ええね、私も驚いていますよ。こんな共通項には気づきません
This is the first time you're realizing that? What kind of police force do you have? I figured that out like 2 episodes ago. I can't believe this could help lead to the closing of those incidents, which is something they had in common.
例えば鬼隠しにあって失踪した人には何か共通点があるとか。
Ushi-san mumbled as he seemed to be thinking about it. So I summarized the
1
events.
年目はダムの作業員、
First year was the dam
2年
employee.
目は誘致派の
Second year was the wife of a dam project supporter.
3年目は神
Third
主
year
の
was the
妻、
wife of the Shinto priest.
4年目は被害
Fourth
者
year was the
宅の
victim's
子供で、
family's child.
5年目は
And
交
fifth year
際
was the
相
victim's
手、
girlfriend.
特につながりはなさそうだし。
Right.
1年目はともかく、妻とか交際相手とか、こういう人が目立ちますな。
It does seem like there are a lot. And that means the fourth year's victim child was different. It really stood out if they were all married couples, except it's not just married couples. The parents and children as well. When I think of it, I believe Tomitake-san also told me the younger brother is alive and has moved, if I recall correctly.
4年目に行方不明になった子供ってどんなだったんですか？
おとなしい感じの方だったらしいです。年はあなたの一つ上です。名前は北条聡さん。
Oh.
Eh?
Satoshi? Disappeared last year. And my friend's gonna lie to my face. I remembered that name. Didn't they tell me Satoshi transferred out last year?
あなたの学校
No, he
に
didn't.
去年まで通ってい
No, he
た
didn't. He done disappeared. He was at your school up until last
話
year.
を聞いていません。
No. No one is telling me jack shit about anything, and I'm getting kind of frustrated by this. Come to think of it, when I transferred in, I believe they said my seat belonged to a recent transfer student? Then where I sat once belonged to the one who was demoned away. It was his seat. I recalled the cold sensation that came from that desk and made my hair stand on end. The string of mysterious deaths? No. Oyashiro-sama's curse. I now knew how it connected to me. The chilling sensation was the feeling of Oyashiro-sama caressing the back of my neck.
お社様のたたりか。
Could Oyashiro-sama's curse really exist? In all honesty, I was beginning to believe it. And I was scared. That's why I wanted to say it was a plot crafted by man and not the work of a curse. The more I dug into it, the less likely that seemed. No, the more I dug, the more mysterious it became. If I kept digging, eventually I'd reach the point where I learned something I really shouldn't know. To either be none the wiser or seek an answer I may regret. Which one would I be happier with? Maybe it'll be me next time. My execution could only be delayed for 1 year. That was when I remembered. Rena. Rena said she may be the next victim of the curse.
竜宮レナさんがですか？去年転校されてきた前原さんのクラスメートですよね。女の子には刺激の強い事件ばかりです。
That's a little bit sexist.
怖がるのも無理ないんじゃないでしょうかね。
Wasn't that? Then it might be her next. She said it in a way that made me think she had a concrete reason behind it.
もっと確信じみたものだったように思います。なんていうのか、その。
She was frightened. Her sudden change in demeanor, that someone who looked like Rena but wasn't Rena, might be unrelated. All the strange things that I felt from Rena today came back to me.
そうですか。ではこちらでも少し調べてみます。前原さんも少し竜宮さんの様子に注意してあげてください。
それはレナを見張れってことですか？
そんな意味ではありませんよ、前原さん。お友達が次の被害者にならないよう少し気に
Well, I
して
could
あげ
do
て
that
ほ
as long as
し
she
い。
promises not to freak me out again. That moment just in my mouth was agape because I was so impressed with his mature, clever way with words. Knock, knock. The knock at the door sent my heart racing. In an instant, I had pointlessly covered up the end of the receiver.
ケイチ、ちょっとここを開けてくれ。
On the side of the door, I heard my father's oddly upbeat voice. What could it be? So late.
すみません、親父が来ました。今夜はこれくらいでいいですか？
ええ、夜分遅くに本当に申し訳ありませんでしたね。何か分かりましたら教えてください。こちらも進展がありましたらご報告しますよ。では失礼します。
Okay, bye.
ケイチ、
Bye, Z's.
早く開けてくれ。父さん、両手が塞がってるんだ。
What is that doing? I stayed in the same position while on the phone the whole time, so my joints were aching. When I opened the door, I saw my father was standing there with the tray. A tray, cookies, and 2 cups of black tea. Fairly fancy spread for our household. There's even sugar and lemon slices on the side. Everything you could ask for. Quite the show of hospitality.
何父さん、それ何のつもりだよ。
もうはぐらかすなよ、ケイチ。入るぞ。
Dad was in high spirits and had a smirk on his face. Why? But for my entire life, I've never seen him act this hospitable. When I got it into him,
で、何の話をしてたんだ？
I jumped. Not something I had to keep from my father. But how can I explain to him I was talking to a detective? I'm assuming he was, this late at night.
別に何も。友達だよ。
電話の話じゃなくてしてたんだろう、今。
Who?
レナちゃんが。
What? No, we were just talking to Oishi.
もうごまかさなくたっていいぞ。さっきレナちゃんが遊びに来てたじゃないか。だいぶ話し込んでるみたいだったからお茶でもって思ったらすれ違いだったんだよ。
What? I had no idea what Dad was talking about. But a cold sweat dripped down my back.
どのくらい話し込んでたかな。
レナちゃんが2階に上がったのが半くらいだったから小1時間くらいかな。
Close to an
2階
hour?
に上がったの父さん見たの？
ああ、見たよ。圭一の部屋は階段を上がって奥の扉だよって声もかけた。
What? Rena came to my house about an hour ago. Dad met her at the door and called out to me on the second floor. I didn't hear him because I was so focused on my conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't reply, but he knew I was in my room, so he had her come inside. And told her my room was on the second floor. She thanked my dad and went upstairs. Then about an hour passed. She passed by my dad just as he was bringing up tea and left. She came upstairs for an hour and was just listening to us talk? And she passed by my dad and returned home. And she came upstairs, and until she left, where was Rena? Probably right outside our damn door listening to our conversation. There's only a short hallway between our room and the stairs. Meaning, Rena had for about an hour in the hall. No. She couldn't have been standing in front of my door all that time. Our room wasn't particularly thick. You could easily hear everything being said inside. Oh. All the unsettling and unguarded things I spoke to Oishi-san about began rushing through my head. What is going on? Mom yelled up at Dad from downstairs. Dad left the tray with me and went downstairs with a disappointed chortle. While my dad out of the room with my eyes, I looked down at the floor around the doorway where Rena might have stood all that time. Just now, as I was talking to Oishi-san with my back turned, Rena was standing a mere 6 feet away the whole time? That is unsettling. All that time in this dimly lit doorway? What did she see? What did she hear? For what reason? Ooh. As the steam from the 2 teacups ominously wafted and twisted, the aroma of black tea filled my room. Ooh. What? What do you mean? Huh? That is disturbing. Notice from the police chief. Alright. We got an achievement. Lies. This is really weirding me out. July 1st, 1982. Departments 1 through 12. Prefectural Police Headquarters. Director General. To the Chief Constable and all facility managers. Regarding cases situated in the Hinamizawa village. As cases in Shishibon City, Hinamizawa village have been reported by certain sections of mass media. It has drawn global attention, which is causing serious repercussions for the local residents. It has become a very serious situation. To protect the livelihood and prosperity of the residents, the following notice has been issued. 1. Designate the following criminal investigations as classified. Kinomiya Station 1982, case number X. Okay, so this is the housewife murder. Got it. Kinomiya Station case number X. Hinamizawa village student disappearance. Non-disclosure of information. Kinomiya 1979 case number. Hinamizawa village site foreman murdered. Shura Station 1980 case number. Shirakawa Natural Park falling incident. So that's the guy that fell off the cliff, but his wife never found. Village Shinto priest wife's disappearance. This woman in the bog. Requesting self-restraint from each organization concerning the release of sensitive information. Please see attached reference materials 1, 2, and 3. Management. Internal line. Police Affairs Department. Okay. Well, it didn't really tell us a whole lot. Just that what Oishi already told us, that we're trying to keep this confidential. We're trying to keep this on the DL. Let's, yeah, let's, no, I'm gonna keep going. I was like, we're gonna end it for today, but now I really need to know what's going on. I apologize. So, we're almost at an hour, but I can't let this go, because now I'm like, what were you doing in my house listening to my phone conversation? Weariness and a headache. Not a very nice way to start the day. That's so weird.
どうしたの？ケイチ、今朝は顔色悪いわよ。
No, I'm not so
夕べは
well.
何時に寝たの？
See, my mom had noticed my sullen state. Yesterday, I kept on waking up in the middle of the night. Without a doubt, I felt a presence. I felt the presence of someone standing in front of my door. I told myself repeatedly it was my imagination and forced myself to try and sleep. Except, not being able to stand it, I gathered up my courage and opened the door. Of course, there wasn't anyone there. I did this 3 times throughout the night. Maybe I just didn't remember doing any more than that. Even though I was able to get to the breakfast table without incident, I still didn't feel at ease.
風邪かもしれない。なんだか食欲ないんだ。
あら、ちょっと熱あるんじゃない？どうする？学校行ける？
No, let's stay home today. I want to stay here. Technically, I did go to a school, but it was mostly self-study. Wouldn't matter about much if I missed a day, would it? Could mean that I hadn't been feeling well for the last few days because I really did have a cold. If I took some medicine and got a good day of rest, I might be able to greet everyone with a smile tomorrow. Startled, I looked back and forth between the entrance and the clock. It was 10 minutes later than when I usually met up with Rena. It was Rena.
レナちゃん迎えに来ちゃったけど、お休みする？
Yeah, please let me stay home. Rena was a good girl. Might be somewhat perky, but she was certainly cute. The lunches she made were delicious and she always looked out for me. Why should I be so scared of something like that? Because the girl is a freak. It wasn't Rena's fault. It was probably mine. It had to have been my cold. Just had to be.
休む。ごめん。
じゃあ、母さんが断ってきてあげるわね。
Mom headed off to the door. I'd have to pass by the entrance to get back to my room. I didn't have the nerve to meet with Rena, so I wrapped myself in a blanket on the sofa and closed my eyes. I was so sleep deprived, I quickly fell into a deep slumber. I only intended to lie down for a bit, but it was almost noon when I woke up. I called out to my parents, but they didn't seem to be around. On the table, I found lunch prepared and a note. Mom and Dad had apparently driven off to somewhere far away. Likely had to do with Dad's work. This happened every so often, so it wasn't that unusual. They'd be back for dinner, but might be a bit late. The note had said, "The insurance card is in the cabinet. Take it and go to the hospital." Wait, what? There was also a well-drawn map to the hospital. Go to the hospital. You might be dying. Take our insurance card. Bye, Z's. That's right. I hadn't been there before, so I didn't know exactly where it was. I had a light lunch, although it was really just leftovers from the morning, and just in case, went to the hospital. It's so funny. Take our insurance card. You're sick. Normally, I'd never been there in the middle of a weekday. Just walking around like this made me feel guilty. It was an odd feeling. Following my mom's map, I took a road I never usually used. After walking for a bit, the hospital sign came into view. Area Clinic was written rather stylishly on the sign. That's where, Takano worked. The lady that was with, Tomatake. She was a nurse here. The clinic wasn't very big based on the scale of the rest of Hinamizawa is far too grand. There's a parking lot and even a reserved spot for buses. Must be taking a mint. Making a mint. Making a mint. I spaced out in the air-conditioned waiting room until it was my turn to be seen.
前原さん、診察室へどうぞ。
This is so good. After half-heartedly answering all the chatty doctor's questions, he responded with the old, "It's probably a cold." He gave me a shot and 3 days worth of medicine. Thought it was a little overboard, but to clear away the gloomy feeling I'd been having lately, then it was worth it. I settled the bill and took a quick trip to the washroom. As I was leaving, I overheard a conversation between some elderly people who seemed to be regulars at the clinic. Of course, I had no intention of eavesdropping. It just wasn't for that word.
やっぱり鬼隠しかいね。
Onikakushi.
どうかね。まだまだ若い子だけゃ。駆け落ちかもしられへん。
Must be talking about the nurse.
どこの
Takano.
誰とよ。季節のたびに東京もんが来ちょったろ。でっけえカメラ持った若者が。あれと仲が良きゃったって話。知られへんの？
Were they talking about Tomatake-san? I feel my ears perking up.
そら知らんけど。でも、普通駆け落ちっても仁義あるだろう。書き置きとか辞表とか書かんかいね。
すったらんかかんから駆け落ち言うんね。
I don't think they got eloped.
きゃ看護師さんの顔見られんようなるのは寂しいね。
高野さんはしっかり者よ。どこへ行ってもやっていけろん。
So her name was Takano-san? The woman with Tomatake-san. And she worked at this clinic. Ueshiro-sama's shadow was following me everywhere I went. I started listening more closely, but began talking about fishing and didn't seem like they were going to revisit the topic, so I gave up and left. Thus, even though I was separated from the daily monotony of school, I wasn't able to escape from Ueshiro-sama's shadow. But of course, Ueshiro-sama was the guardian deity of this place, of Hinamizawa. As long as I was in Hinamizawa, I wouldn't be able to escape. Maybe it's because I was walking outside, but my appetite had suddenly returned. Might as well buy a snack with the change from the examination fee on the way home. Contemplating that, I turned onto a familiar street. Where are we going? That moment I heard a car horn pumped abruptly behind me. Was I really walking so far in the middle of the road where I'd be in a car's way? Moved farther off to the side, but the horn was still honking at me. I turned around, peeved. Ah. You're gonna get me in trouble, Uishi. Get gone. I'm gonna get in trouble. There's Uishi-san. He stepped out of his car, AC on full blast, and waved at me.
今日はどうしたんです？学校はお休みですか？
ちょっと体調悪かったんで、今日は休みました。お昼を買って帰ろうとしてたところです。
そりゃよかった。実は私、お昼に行こうとしてたんですよ。ああ、お体に触るようでしたら構いません。
I'll get lunch with you, old man. Just going to lie down after going home anyway. And I didn't really have a cold.
地元の食堂だと嫌でしょう。町まで行きましょう。ちょっと走りますがよろしいですかな？私、おいしいお店。
They must have had a lot more lax laws about like stranger safety at this time, because you're like a 13 or 14-year-old boy about to get in a car with a grown-ass man and drive out of town with him, and this is just like, sure. Finally begun to understand Uishi-san's roundabout way of saying things. Probably wanted to talk to me about stuff that would be difficult to discuss while in Hinamizawa. Yeah, sure. Strange man who I just met. Let's go. Let's hop in your air-conditioned car and leave town. Went with Uishi-san riding in his frigid car. It was almost as if the bright sunlight outside was a lie. It got so quiet.
昨夜は遅くまですみませんでしたね。ご家族に怒られませんでしたか？
いえ。
I recalled Rena, who had been listening to the phone conversation all that time, separated from me by just the door. Even now, in the brightness of the sunlight, the thought still creeped me out. With the big bump that jolted the car, the road connecting to the city changed from dirt to pavement. My head swiveled back with a sudden realization. That's right. This is where Tomitake-san died.
富武さんの捜査は暗礁に乗り上げています。
Uishi-san spoke while peering at me from the corner of his eye.
自分の爪で喉をかき破るという異常さから幻覚作用のある何らかの薬物によるものだと信じているのです。こういう症状、それも急激に引き起こす薬物はなかなかないらしいんです。
I thought they said that there was nothing in his toxicology report.
もちろん、検視解剖もそれを念頭に置いて十分に行ったの
Right,
です
they
が、
didn't find anything.
手がかりはやはりありませんでし
Unless
た。
maybe it like worked its way out of his system or something, where it's really hard to detect.
漫画なんかによくあるじゃないですか。体内に取り込まれると分解したりして、
Right.
証拠が何も残らないなんて、そんな。
ありますよ。演歌作詞、何でしたっけ？
Cynical? I have no idea. Hi, I'm an idiot. Something or other.
まあ、結構あ
Pretty
ります。
common.
でもですね、富武さんのような症状を引き起こす薬物に
That
は
was a pretty extreme reaction.
じゃあ、警察は富武さんはたたりで死んだってそう言うんですか？
Couldn't help but feel the police were worthless. I just wanted the idea of a curse to be dissociated from Tomitake-san's mysterious death.
悔しいですが、今のところは。ですが、死因はともかく、死ぬ前に何人かの人間に囲まれて暴行を受けたことだけは間違いありません。たたりでなく、人間が事件に関わっているのは疑いようがありませんよ。
We gotta figure out who those people were. Made me a bit relieved. Passed in front of the rather desolate but still busier than Hinamizawa train station. The car pulled into a restaurant parking lot and I followed Uishi-san into the shop. It's pretty crowded, but there were only adults at this hour. Of course, there wouldn't be any children in here in the middle of a weekday.
2名です。タバコは、我慢します。
こちらへどうぞ。ご注文がお決まりになりましたらお呼びください。
We were led by a peculiarly dressed waitress to our table. I sat with Oishi-san in the booth.
どうです？このお店のウェイトレスさんの格好。
That's
可愛らしい
really
と思いま
weird.
せん？
Please don't talk to me about that.
まあそのどうでしょうね。
Please don't talk to me about how cute the waitresses are. Creepy old man.
お店ね、いっつも大人気なんですよ。お料理よりもウェイトレスさんがね。
ああ、大石さん、目がやらしいです
Yeah,
よ。
you're leering. Please stop.
うん、
Pick your mouth up. Pick your jaw up off the floor.
そうですか？
Ugh. Ugh. Wretch. That's awful. Desserts? Regardless of how the waitress looked, the food was decent enough. Finishing our meals while talking about some inane topic. Oishi-san, after meal cup of coffee, arrived at the table.
昨日、Hinamizawaの昔話が出ましたよね。
ええ、人食い鬼の里だって言われてたって話でしたっけ？
私もあんまり詳しい方じゃない
I
の
love the
で、
music of this
うち
game.
のおばあ様に今朝、
So
ちょっ
good.
と聞いてみたんです。
Oishi-san took out the notepad that was stuffed into his breast pocket.
なんでもですね、大昔はHinamizawaは鬼ヶ淵って呼ばれてたんだそうです。
Or Ogre's Abyss. That's, it's a little bit dark.
鬼ヶ淵、すごい名前ですね。
It's quite the name.
今でもその名前残ってるんですよ。神主の妻が受水自殺した沼の名前は今でも鬼ヶ淵というんです。沼の底の底は鬼たちの住む国とつながってると言
Yeah.
われてたんだそうです。
Fun. Of course, nobody told me anything about such an ominous marsh.
でですね、鬼ヶ淵は恐れられていたと同時に 崇められてもいたんだそうです。
A respect born of fear. As you could say, it was a kind of deification. Village of inhuman creatures.
鬼たちはある種の仙人でもあったらしいんですよ。
Mountain dwelling mystics.
例えば、不治の病にかかった村人を鬼ヶ淵に運んで、治してもらったりとかしたんだそうです。
We're calling them demons. Tengu, long-nosed goblins, or Senin would be a more apt description. Oh. Got it. Price of curing her son was herself. That is unsettling. The entire village, apparently. That's quite a frightening thing to imagine. What an uplifting story. Thank you, Oishi. The end. Thanks. In contrast to the ghastly tale, Oishi-san laughed heartily while sipping his coffee. I recalled that Mion had said all the villagers united and fought against the dam construction. I saw similarities with how that part about unification overlapped. That caught my attention. Oishi-san also appeared to be pondering what it meant. Yeah, what does this all mean? Basically, don't help the victims. Pretend you didn't see the atrocities, in other words. You mean like we're doing? Like, should we just let Tomatake rest? Because we're doing a lot of probing. Many parts of that tale caught my attention. Parts of the story he told me overlap with his theory that the entire village was in on the crime. Even if it wasn't the whole village, it was conceivable that the villagers were hiding under the covers and leaving them to die when there's a group that was on their hunt, wasn't it? I didn't dare speak it. That's what I wanted to know. It seemed that we were both waiting for the other one to say that last part. He waited for the waitress to finish pouring coffee before speaking. Oishi-san muttered as he watched the milk swirl around in his coffee. Okay, what did you find out about our friends? If Oishi-san had said this to me before, I would have gotten angry at him for calling my friends into question. But as I was now, I couldn't. Oishi-san was wearing the most serious expression that I'd ever seen from him, as if he was telling me to prepare myself and listen. Quite a few things I regretted hearing from Oishi-san, but none of them were as threatening as this. A little voice inside me was screaming like an alarm. Stop, Keiichi. This was probably the last one. I took a deep breath and silenced that voice. I would not run from the truth. That was all I could utter. Oishi-san stared into my eyes silently for a few moments. After he was certain I was ready, he began. Just tell me. Altercation with Mion Sonozaki-san. Multiple altercations. Oishi-san had said before that Mion had defied the dam project vehemently. Well, it wasn't hard to imagine how she'd be if she got worked up. Right. Satoko. Our Satoko? Oishi-san's look told me that my voice was too loud. I realized it as well and quickly quieted down. Rika Furude. See, I knew that. You know already, don't you? Step out of Satoko Hoja. Interesting. I could tell my lips were getting dry. I didn't even have the wits to keep my mouth from hanging agape. I thought it was nothing but a bizarre incident, one that I could easily distance myself from. But clicking and clacking, it had snuck all the way to my feet. That's Satoshi Hojo. That's Sadako's brother. Took everything I had to finally say that. I gulped down a glass of water and once again wiped my face with a napkin. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. But Oishi-san was relentless. Instead of waiting for me to finish sorting out my feelings, he started speaking again. Lots of things I shouldn't have heard. Yup. Mion? Satoko? Rika-chan? So what if they're connected? You're telling me all of my friends? Couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Rena is different, isn't she? Rena isn't connected with the victims at all. Right. She's a transfer student. He said it in a roundabout way. She's saying she's also connected? She broke all the windows. That same spacey Rena had? Couldn't even imagine it. Dysautonomia. Dysautonomia? I have no idea what that is. She was given weeks of counseling and medication. What if it was something like a nervous breakdown? I'd heard that it happens to people who are really methodical or overly sensitive. Neither of those match Rena's easygoing personality. It shows up? What is it? Press forward carelessly. Couldn't be anything more for me to regret. Oh. Felt like someone's stone-cold hand was caressing my back. Why? Why had Rena spoken of Oyashiro-sama before she even came to Hinamizawa? My mind froze. Couldn't process what I was being told. She's not an outsider, huh? She didn't tell me that. So she's not an outsider like me. She was born and raised there. My mind went completely blank. It was similar to the static you'd see on a blank TV channel. Why are all my friends lying to me? My ears began ringing as I lost all sense of comprehension. Those words brought me back. I couldn't let it end here. Well, he's connected to all of us, wasn't he? Right. Yeah, we were all with him. Yep. Now there was nothing I could respond with. I fell silent and my brain turned to mush. Yeah, that was all of us. I'd completely forgotten about the medicine I got until Oishi-san said that. I got another glass of water and we left the shop after I chugged it down. Wow. We got in the car and returned to Hinamizawa via the rough road. Never really paid attention when I was on my bike, but did cars normally shake this much? It's almost as if the road was desperately trying to tell me something. Badump. The big jolt was the difference in elevation of the road when it changed from cement to dirt. I was certain that I heard Tomitake-san scream. I sat in silence, just letting myself be shaken by the car. I blurted out the question. They just blurted it out. I didn't expect an answer. You're right, I kept pushing. I understood quite well that Oishi-san was investigating the string of suspicious incidents, But why was he telling me all this? I knew nothing and I couldn't help. Everything Uishi-san spoke of was news to me. First of all, what could I, having just moved here, possibly know? By chance, if there was a reason for Uishi-san to reach out to me, then it would have to be... So it would be like a mole. That was part of Mion's circle of friends who looked suspicious to Uishi-san. He should. That's very suspicious. Uishi-san didn't really give a response. Felt a little late, but I thought it was his way of showing a bit of consideration for my feelings. I wanted to reply with, "That's absurd," but in my downtrodden state, I couldn't bring myself to say it. Huh. In other words, he was insinuating that on the next Watanagashi, I might be the victim. After some time, the car finally reached the path to my house. The clock read 2 p.m. I was surprised by so little time had passed since we ate. It was hot outside the car. Chirping of the Higurashi hurt my ears. It's a lot to think about. I wasn't collected enough to understand Oishi-san's roundabout way of saying it. I didn't really give any sort of response. Bye. Bye. Thanks for making me question my circle of friends. Tires crunched over the dirt road as the car made a U-turn and disappeared into a cloud of kicked up dust. I felt like I was watching a boat only throw me a lifesaver in a shark-infested waters before disappearing into the distance. It was the first time I thought Oishi-san was being unfair. Telling me I was going to be the next victim, then just saying to contact him if something happened? This wasn't a criminal investigation. He was fishing. Now it's just the bait dangling off the line. Would the fish be the perpetrator? Or was it really just Oyashiro-sama's curse? Either way, the bait would be swallowed whole. For some time, I could do nothing but stare at the puddle of water left behind by the AC from the car. Wow. Yeah, that was kind of messed up. Bye. Bye, Keiichi. You're probably going to die next year. I won't be working, but... Enjoy what little time you have left on this earth. Wow. All right, let's pause here for today because we've been recording now for almost an hour and a half, and before I get into it, we'll probably be here for like another 30-40 minutes on this part of the chapter. So this has been episode 5 of Higurashi. I really want to keep playing this, but I'm going to slow myself down because I know that we're going to be coming to the end pretty soon because we've got to be like on episode, what? Let's save it and let's see. Save. Yes. So I guess we're on chapter 7. I'm not sure how many chapters are in Onikakushi, but I feel like stuff's going to start happening pretty soon, and we're going to start having a lot more things come our way. But anyway, if you like this video, feel free to give me a like and subscribe for more like this. I'll try and have more Higurashi up sometime early next week, but I appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch you for the next one. Peace!